Sometimes there are games that stick in our memories, games we had fun with as kids and still think about today. Messing with those feels wrong, like breaking core memory. That's why remakes are so tempting, but also so risky. I mean, you want to get the fans, the name, and the nostalgia. But nostalgia doesn't automatically make a great modern game. Too often, remakes fail because they forget that the feeling we had when playing is everything. They treat nostalgia like a checklist. Better graphics, check. Ray tracing, check. Higher frame rate, check. But forget that the emotion, the pacing, the context, the soul, the thing that made the game special in the first place, they lose that. And when they do, they don't remake a game, they ruin it. And what is a better example of that than the disaster that felt like a betrayal and a stab in the back of Warcraft III Reforged, whose hype way before launch? A remaster of a beloved RTS with upgraded visuals, rebuilt cutscenes, and polished designs. It sounded perfect, but at launch, it was a shell of what was promised. Cutscene downgrade. But everywhere, custom campaigns removed or broken. Multiplayer matches started crashing, even though they were working fine for over a decade. Features we didn't know we would miss were removed, one after another, until the patch notes started to look like a list of casualties. Blizzard didn't just mess up, no, they took one of their most loved series and turned them into the ultimate example of how not to do a remake. Players didn't care that the texture was a little bit sharper. The game felt empty. It had no soul and none of its original charm. That's what happens when you deliver nostalgia but strip away authenticity. Now let us take a look at Resident Evil 2 Remake. Capcom nailed it. They didn't just reskin the old game and call it a day. No, they stayed true to the original tension and atmosphere, but rebuilt it in a way that made Claire and Leon's story feel alive again. The fear, the pacing, the shooting, the movement, every detail down to the sound design was refined until it felt like razor sharp. Resident Evil 2 sold millions, won awards, and treated players like people who actually mattered, not just wallets. It wasn't just a remake, it was a complete revival, and you can feel the respect in every creaking door of that remake. Capcom has made this a habit, from the Resident Evil 1 remake to Resident Evil 3, and now even Resident Evil 4. They always keep the heart of the game, and the same goes for Bluepoint games. They don't just remake games, they honor them. The Shadow of the Colossus remake runs smoothly. The Colossus still fall with the same weight, and the empty world still feels lonely and eerie. Demon's Souls on the PS5 gives the same timing, mood, and design, but now every rock and ripple looks incredible. Low point attention to detail is the difference between a shiny copy of an old game and a heartfelt tribute. But some studios just don't get it. The Silent Hill HD collection from Konami lost the original's thread and a lot more that made it what it was in the first place. I mean, without a fog and with flat lightning, bad sound, and poor lip sync, it became a lifeless, soulless replica instead of the creeping horror that makes you hyperventilate. So now you got something bland and boring instead of exciting and engaging. They forget, they forget that a remake can take away the very thing that made the original unforgettable and then ruin it. Then there is passion versus cash grab. Shovel Knight isn't a remake, but it might as well be. It's a spiritual successor to Mega Man and Castlevania, built with real love and a strong dedication. Every jump, every pixel, every sound, it feels handcrafted to perfection. It's not riding an old band, it's a pure passion wrapped in nostalgia and hard work, and that's why It works so well. Now, compare that to GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition. These were Rockstar big nostalgic titles, but they shipped them with ugly textures, broken lightning, messed up physics, and so many bugs that they actually became a joke online and made fans so disappointed. You didn't feel like going back to Vice City, you felt like you walked into a broken, uncanny copy of it, and that hurt anyone who played them. But hopefully, Rockstar is going to more than make up for it in GTA 6. And let me tell you, there is something that people don't get in remakes and how even companies who try so hard fail. It's change. Change is tricky in remakes. Change too much and you lose the original. Change too little and feels lazy. Final Fantasy VII Remake took a risk. It went from turn-based to real-time action, added new story arcs and shifted tone, but you could see Midgar, the beautiful city, the characters, the feeling, the gamble worked because the quality actually matched the ambition and being the fruit of its labor. But on the other hand, Super Mario 3D All Stars put three classics on the Switch with almost no upgrades, no better texture, awkward aspect ratios, and no extra content. It could have been, it really could have been the best Mario collection ever introduced. But instead, it felt like Nintendo just threw the games into a box and sold them. That's nostalgia down out of obligation, not love, not passion, and that's why it failed. The magic is in the balance. Metroid Zero Mission rebuilt the classic game with better pacing, optional storylines, and small difficulty changes that are small but are super good without betraying the original. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 nailed nostalgia with modern touches, updated graphics, rebalanced tricks, online features, everything fresh but still fun like it was the first time you ever launched it. And with Demon Souls again, the combat still delivered. It was so good. The world is still heavy with mood, and even the ghostly player messages still there. It feels like the game was always meant to be this way. That's real dedication. Remakes fail when they focus only on hype and sales. Warcraft 3 Reforged proved you can rebuild the house, but if you replace all the support beams, it will come crashing down. Silent Hill HD Collection proved you can't fake atmosphere. GTA Definitive Edition proved brand power doesn't excuse bad quality. Mario proved nostalgia needs care, not just a label. The best remakes focus on the heart of the game. They don't just upgrade visuals, they keep what made it matter in the first place. Capcom Resident Evil games work because they are made with care and respect to the player and the game. Bluepoint succeeds because they care about every single detail. And you can't fake this with money or trailers. You earn it with curiosity, respect, and the willingness to rebuild something without breaking its spirit. And next time you see a remake, ask yourself, does it feel like a tribute or just a quick way to make money? Remakes don't fail just because they have bugs or that they ruin one thing. They fail when they lose the heart, the main reason people even need the remake. And the ones that actually work, they keep the same heartbeat as the original. And that was it for today's video. I did take a lot more time than usual for this one, but it's because I felt sick or fell sick, honestly, and needed some time to recover. Hope you did like it, and if you do, don't forget, you can always give it a like and a sub. Show appreciation. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.